morning from Falmouth. So I just left my accommodation and I am walking to where I believe the bus stop is. I have all of my stuff and things. So I have a 30-liter backpack. What I was hiking with last summer was a 20-liter. So I've only gone up 10 liters. It definitely feels heavier though. The only thing I've really added is I have obviously change of clothes, pajamas. I have this little like sleep sack that I sleep in, and I have like a small little container of my toiletries, and then a small little container of like medications and, you know, my glasses, various things like that. So it's not light adds in terms of like, you know, toiletries are like heavier and stuff, but we'll see how I go with this. It's also just getting used to a new pack and making all the like fit adjustments that I need to. So I'm currently walking to the central Falmouth kind of bus terminal. The buses this morning to get to where I'm going are going to take me about 2-ish hours. I have to go from here to a town called Halston, and then from there it'll take me to actually the village of Lizard, I think is actually what it's called. And it is the last village in the southernmost tip of Great Britain. A lot of people think Land's End is actually the southernmost tip, but it's not. It's Lizard Point, so the very bottom of that point. I've been there before, so we're not going to visit it on this trip, but here's a picture. I'll throw it up on the screen if I can find it. And I will show you the town though, or village, I guess. It's very, very small. And that is where I actually found the little like southernmost point marker last time I was there. So we'll see if we can find it again. Okay, let's go on our 2-hour bus ride. So I am on the outskirts of Helston. I stopped at the Sainsbury because this is where the bus stop is, but I'm gonna switch. I bought crisps, pack of wraps, and a singular apple. So I just wanted to have some lunch things in case. I know the second day that I'm gonna be walking, there's not a good lunch spot or like a good place to stop and buy lunch. There probably is today. I probably have more food than I need, but I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So that's what we're doing. So I'm gonna go back to the bus stop, hopefully catch the bus that will take me out to the Lizard Peninsula, and we'll start our walk from there. Whoa. From the town at the southernmost point of the United Kingdom. So there is no real like mile marker down at the actual Lizard Point. At least it wasn't when I was here like 8 years ago. But this is the little village. Blink and you miss it. Everything's closed right now because it's like 9:30, but yeah, it's super cute. I'm gonna go poke around a little bit and then get on the path. So the first summer that I walked anywhere on the path was the first summer I came to Cornwall, which is 2018. And I'm pretty sure that right around that little Coast Guard watch thing is where I ended my little walk that year. So if you look this way, you can kind of see that like lighthouse looking thing. I walked past that, and then somewhere in that direction is Lizard Point, which is the southernmost tip. And then back this way and like over, that's Cayen's Cove, where I kind of walked from to last summer. So this is kind of me picking up where I left off and going forward. So between here or I guess the coastal point of here, and Falmouth, I think it's about 30 miles. I'll put the number up here if it's not about 30 miles. But my plan is to do 3 days, 2 nights of like all my stuff backpack walking, and then do another day or 2 of walking based in Falmouth, and then just take a bus out and walk back to Falmouth both times. So we'll see how many miles I end up doing in this part of Cornwall, but my goal is to slowly complete the Cornwall section of the Southwest Coast Path first, and then I want to do the whole path eventually, but I'm working on Cornwall, kind of like deviating from that a little bit later this trip, but you'll see when I get there. For sign spotting of the trip, and that is the path. Ain't too shabby. Express my gratitude to the path maintainers right now. Look at this. So nice and cleared back. Ain't nothing more than a really overgrown path. So happy that it has been recently trimmed back. I've heard in this Facebook group I'm in for walking this path that this section from Coverack to Helston, or not Helston, had Hereford Passage, I think, is rough and overgrown, but that was a couple weeks ago. So fingers crossed the maintainers have gotten to that part of the path at this point. It looks like the path goes into the ocean. My geographic assessment is correct. My end point for the day is a little past the other side of that point. To the Coast Guard station. So you see the little ramp right there? They keep their Coast Guard boat in there, and then when they need it, it goes down the little ramp like a little kind of like boat mover and goes out down there, and then they can take it out to sea. I mean, I'm sure they store it down there too sometimes, but they can bring it up is the idea. So made it to the little hamlet of Church Cove. Very small. Is that besides that first sign, I haven't seen any coastal path route signs, just these Cornwall County Council ones. I don't know. I've never seen that anywhere else. I wonder if they'll pick up further away from the lizard or not. I have stumbled across path maintaining in progress. I think this means at some point it's going to get not so fun. Up and over a stile and found some lizard rock, which, as far as I understand, is why it's called the lizard. Because the rock looks like lizard skin. I've been staring at this little dip and staircase here in pictures for a while. I've been pretty intimidated by it, but in person it doesn't look too bad. Let's hope it's not actually too bad. We've gotten to some really unfun overgrowth. Let's hope it's just this little bit, because that staircase over there seems okay. Actually, it seems to have really just been between, like, through the watery overgrown sections, so not the Coast Guard station, looking all majestic. The water, so pretty. And I'm almost to the top. Perhaps I spoke too soon. My nemesis, the ferns, are back. Actually, in a little section of trees, which is not what I'm used to on this path. Like, I know there are tree sections, I just kind of avoid them because I don't love walking through trees because it all kind of looks the same to me. I mean, just trees. It's like a little green tunnel, see? But yeah, I guess this part has some trees. I kind of knew that, but we'll see what else we get surprised by. Well, finally found another. See there's one. So I'm a mile from Church Cove. And apparently there's an inland path to Cadgwith. I don't know how to pronounce that. We'll see what the internet has to say later. But I think I'm going to continue on the coastal path because it's pretty. And hopefully not too overgrown. Well, if it's going to be overgrown, at least it's pretty. Well, a quarter mile to Cadgwith maybe? Which I think is about my halfway point. Maybe a little under. But little village of Cadgwith. This Cadgwith. Just a little fishing village. It smells like fish here. It's a little early. Well, it's noon. It's not early for me to eat lunch, but I'm not super hungry. And I have about 7 more miles to walk. So I think I'm gonna go a couple more miles before I stop for lunch. But this is the last like civilization point I'm going to see until I get to Coverack. At least I think. So I'm gonna head out. Connect Sands. Connect? I don't know. But this way. There it is. Maintained trail east of Cadgwith. Amazing, glorious, all of the things. This is a new one for me. Kind of genius though. Like, you open it, you have to push a little bit harder because it's weighted down, but it automatically closes behind you. Amazing. So this is just a reminder about how I need to take these path signs distances with a grain of salt. So this one right here, I don't know if you can see it with the light, but it says Cadgwith is a half mile. There's one like right there that says it's a quarter mile. I mean, I'm no map expert or distance expert, but I do know that between there and there is not a quarter of a mile. So, grain of salt. I think that's Connect Sands, because the other side of that peninsula is definitely Coverack. Made it to the Serpentine Works, which seem to be some old ruins. Apparently there's like a history marker thing over there, but I'm not walking an extra half mile to read it. So this is what you get. Very pretty. Definitely a big up down. I officially just saw my first snake ever on this path. I know that adders exist, and I know they're not like aggressive and like basically if you step on them or mess with them, that's when they'll try and strike at you. But just, I'm super afraid of snakes, and I was hoping to navigate this entire path without seeing one. Just saw one. Thankfully it was like scuttering into the bushes, so I think we're probably okay, but definitely gonna keep my eyes open a little bit more. This most like disappointing pasty I've ever had. Like the vegan ones usually like bugs are made with like special flavors and stuff. You know, like maybe a curry or something like that. They're just pretty good. This one was literally just the onion, potato and swede, and some salt and pepper. So just boring. Not my favorite. Ate about half of it. That thing was huge, as you saw. So still carrying all my food, but when in Cornwall, right? So I'm gonna pop into the bathrooms and then continue on there. So I'm staying right on the other side of there. It's about 4+ miles. And it's 2 o'clock, so I gotta go. Bushwhacking mode on. Taking a little break. I'm almost at 7 miles. It's about 10 miles to where I'm going. Busted out my shade umbrella, which I got since last year. It's definitely more weight, but just standing here and feeling real shade and not just like my sun hoodie feels worth it. So we'll see. It's a cheap one off of Amazon. That's not the latest one. Again, probably not the most durable. So we're gonna see how long it lasts, but until it breaks or until I get tired of carrying it, it's amazing. I think this is the last little jet out around there. I think I go around there and then it's straight on a little bit, but this should be the last big up down, and it's a doozy. Look at that water. It is just straight up. The other side was slightly more gradual. I am very ready to be done for the day, but I have about 2 3/4 miles left. The pack definitely slows me down, and also it's day one, so that slows me down. So I'll be interested to see kind of what this looks like when I do Harriet Way later this summer. I mean, there might be some ponies here. Not a shabby place for my last break of the day. The pony. Hi, pony. I'm not gonna hurt you. Please don't hurt me. Oh, good. We can be friends. Amazing for both of us. Absolutely no fear of humans. Like, none whatsoever. Perhaps not the most helpful sign I've ever encountered. So that's where I started. See the little houses, like, right there-ish. Buildings. I walked down to the tip there. And then all the coves over here, and then I'm going around that corner, and then it's still up a ways that direction. So I'm definitely putting in the miles today. First glimpses of Coverack. So those little roofs. It's in that cove where that white sand beach comes out of. Oh, so close, yet so far. Maintained and cut back, the path had to turn into this like rocky scramble in the last mile. Of course. My knees don't need this. Somewhere in here is the boardwalk. For a point of reference, I'm holding this phone camera at my face. That's how tall these things are. And then the ground is largely like that, rocky. Am I there yet? I can't imagine anybody besides the like purists out there doing this section right now. It is so overgrown. It is so like unstable underfoot. I 100% should have done, like, just should have taken the sculpture park option. And I was like, no, I want to see the last mile. Mistakes. Okay, learn from my mistakes. Bye. Coming into Coverack now. I am totally burnt to a crisp, exhausted. So I don't know if I'll pick this up again, but my plan is to go check in, eat dinner, maybe go put my feet in the sea. If any of those things happen and I have the bandwidth to pick this up, I will. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll show you my room. It is so adorable. It's an old post office that they've turned into a little B&B. This is my window. Look at the harbor. So pretty. And this cute little quaint door. Like, I'm gonna have to duck to go through it. And I'm like not even 5'6". Yeah, but I'm super happy that this is the place that I ended up. So I'm gonna change. I'm super gross right now and go get some food. So hallway, they have this huge old fireplace. So cool. It's all kind of ramshackle and higgledy-piggledy. Very confused as to why this place wasn't open. It is definitely a Monday. The pub across the road has decided to give me a takeaway of fish and chips, and I got a cloudy cider. The only apple cider in the history of the world, perhaps, that I actually like is this red. It's like sweet, which is why I like it. Otherwise, I don't know. This is the beer garden. I'm all alone because the wind is my and chips. I got like a kid's portion because I never eat them all. Homemade tartar, mushy peas. Beautiful view. So I've been noticing a lot of repurposing. So that building is where I'm staying. That's the old post office. And then that is one of those lifeboat houses like I saw earlier, but is now a restaurant. That's where the fish and chips was supposed to be. And then the Paris Hotel is where I went and actually got fish and chips because they were open. But I wonder what this used to be. Maybe something harbor related. It was really pretty. Here's the rest of Coverack. And that's the direction I'm gonna walk tomorrow. So I'm back in my room, just chilling, waiting for some laundry to do, and enjoying this view. Not bad about it at all. So I think this is gonna be it for the night. I'll see you in the morning when we're gonna walk more paths.